Okay, thanks for your patience, everybody. We can now get underway, and I have now pressed the record button. So thanks ever so much for everybody for coming. So my name is Nick Bentley. I think a lot of you know me already, but I'm here to present to you hexucation.com. Okay, so before we get into what hexucation.com is all about, I think it's very important to look at what the strapline means. And the most important word is this decentralized, a decentralized finance. A smaller name for it, a shorter version of it is DeFi. Okay. And we're going to look at this diagram here because it's very important. It's kind of the whole platform is based on DeFi, decentralized finance. And to sort of understand decentralized finance, we need to look at the CFI, which is centralized finance. And that's basically what we've all experienced in today's world, with banks. So you have this sort of green bit, the decision maker in the middle, the manager, if you like, the bank manager, or you could even say the government, and they make up the rules. And as you know, there's one person on here that has any good returns on their bank, because the banks just don't want to give us any money. They get very greedy. They could easily give us great returns on our money, but they decide not to because they're in charge. They can actually make up their own rules as they go along. And I don't know if you've experienced it. I certainly have. And, you want to get a withdrawal that's over maybe 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000, you're not going to be able to do it. Definitely, certainly not within one day. So the centralized system for me is very broke. I don't know if you can remember back in 2008, there was a big house crash where hedge funds were selling mortgage-backed securities, derivatives to investors, which then had an insurance on it. And basically, I'm not going to get into the full details of it, but it was a made-up law, if you like. It was passed by not Parliament, but something equivalent to Parliament in America, where the banks made a lot of money, and unfortunately cost a lot of the public their houses, and just cost them a lot of money basically. And I think the sum came to something like 500 billion. We only got all that money back and got to a level playing field again come 2017. So I think it cost the average taxpayer 70 grand per person. Just ridiculous. And I'm not going to talk too much about this, but I think that there was only one person that went to prison from all of that. And the banks just got away with it because they're in control of the law, the rules, the government, and it's everybody kind of scratching each other's backs. And unfortunately, it's us lot, I don't know if you want to call it the community, the public, the population, that suffer. But because of that 2008 crash, Bitcoin was born. And from that, we then had the kind of decentralized finance born, if you like. So decentral finance, DeFi, is basically, again, I'm not going to get into the whole nitty-gritties of it. We'll mention a lot on how, hexucation, is kind of how it works. But DeFi is basically faster payments. There's no paperwork. There's no third party. It's peer-to-peer. You're anonymous. You don't need, an email or ID or proof of address. It's open source. You just have a wallet, a Web3 wallet, and you connect, and away you go. You can trade. You can make loans. You can lend. It's very fair, as obviously we've seen how unfair CFI is. It's global, and all you need is a DApp, a decentralized application to get involved, and that's how Hexucation works. That's a DeFi DApp, a decentralized application. Okay, so Go to the next one. So what is the product? So the product, Hexucation, is an online education. I know we've worked that out already. Hexucation education. Hexucation is an online education initiative set to redefine the multi-level marketing landscape through the transformative power of blockchain and smart contract technology. Hexucation has its own unique reward system, utility token, and smart vault that revolutionize the way blockchain-based multi-level marketing systems operate, addressing inherent challenges while creating a more transparent, equitable, and sustainable model, which is so important. In other words, Hexucation is, I think, the first sustainable, from what I've experienced, sustainable blockchain-based education multi-level marketing system designed specifically for people who want to learn about blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, and also those of us who love wealth building and want to participate in a safe way and become entrepreneurial. All of the transactions are managed by an audited, publicly viewable smart contract, which we can get into later on the slides, which really makes this stand alone and makes this so transparent and safe. By using smart contracts and transparent blockchain transactions, our affiliates can say goodbye to manual withdrawals that have to be requested from the project or company owners who may one day decide that they no longer want to pay out. And we've seen that before. And that kind of brings me on to the next question, kind of the question I had is, okay, who is behind this company? Because it's not always about how good the product is, how transparent it is. Who's behind? Who are the co-founders? The co-founders are two lovely people called Anne and Clifford. And they were basically just like you and me, certainly just like me, because I know I've been scammed before. And basically it happened to them. They were in a previous platform company and they got scammed. And they just basically said, why can't we just do this legitimately, do this correctly, properly, where we can all make money? Just like going back to the banks, there's enough money to go around. We could all get paid great returns of rate on our money that we have sat in the bank. But no, there's that one greedy kind of authority that just doesn't want to give it to you. And they can get away with it and not give it to you. So Anne and Clifford just decided, why can't we just do this properly and legitimately? So hence the creation of Hexucation and their DeFi platform. Like I said, they just wanted the average person from all walks of life to succeed and not be controlled by the central banks or any one authority. Also, don't forget the main product is to educate people on this crypto space so they are armed with the correct knowledge, you know, in this downward spiraling economy at the moment, but just to be armed and not be scammed again by these so-called platforms that promise you, you know, massive interest on your money per day or per week. So, as I've said in the previous slides, it's a education platform, all online, and obviously it's a crypto education. The beauty of this is it's in 3 levels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So everybody's covered. And even if you're coming into this thinking, well, I really do know my crypto stuff, got to remember this technology is getting updated. I think it's nearly weekly, but it's certainly monthly. So, you know, a lot of our packages will be updated automatically. Again, I can only sort of refer to how I kind of got involved with this and the questions that I asked. And I said, okay, then, so we've got a product that's most certainly needed. I love the decentralized because CeFi doesn't work. I know the people, I've got to know the people, and, you know, I could see they weren't big salesy marketers and, you know, going down that multi-level marketing. I've seen it all before. It's all flashing lights and you've got to get people involved and it's all real salesy. And Clifford are not like that. So that was a tip. The product was great, much needed. But how much was it going to cost? It's all very relevant to obviously what you can afford. And as we know, education can be a lot of money. University degrees, diplomas, etc. So how much? Well, if I said the 3 levels of learning, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, beginner starts off at $1.10, intermediate at 11, and advanced at 55. Now, you might be thinking, okay, $1.10 a month, not too bad. $1.10 a week actually wouldn't be too bad. Maybe not so much with $55 a week, but is this a subscription service? Is this monthly, weekly, annually? Well, if I said no, you have that one-off payment of $1.10. That's it. You're done for life. You've got that beginner package for life. And likewise with the intermediate, $11, advanced, 55. You pay no more. And just like going back to the early slides, Anne and Clifford could have easily have done this app per month and all made more money, but they wanted to make this available to everybody on the planet, where, you know, there wasn't that excuse of I can't afford this platform, these packages. Okay, it gets better, and if you're not getting excited now, you certainly should be getting excited over the next 12 slides, because it does get more exciting as it goes along. It just gets better and better. There's all these sort of bonuses, and oh my God, I can't believe it's getting better and better, you know. So 3 levels of learning, but you can now earn while you learn. So once you bought the package, you can now earn. Okay, so become the product. That's what I tell my team. So what can you earn? So I buy the beginner package. I make use of it. Brilliant, great education on the crypto space. I earn 10 cents. And I'll show you the sort of the figures and how that works. 10% of intermediate, $1, 10% of advanced, $5, by just referring it to people that I know. Okay, so these are the direct commissions, and this is kind of what I've got down as the first way of earning. So, okay, there's me. I go out and say to Jim, Nate, you need to look at this education package, this beginner package. Fantastic. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, he buys it, I get 7%. He does the same to Mary, I get a further 3%. That's my 10%, known as a direct commission. And that gets paid automatically straight into my Web3 wallet. No asking for withdrawals, no waiting for this big owner or owners to give me my money. Automatically, which we'll look at in much more detail later from the smart contract, but automatically it comes straight into my wallet. Okay, multi-level marketing has had a bad name, but it's not through the system, the model itself, it's through the people that have been behind the system. Okay, and you really have to think of that, and I really have to emphasize that. But if we were just looking at that one direct commission system of 7 and 3%, I'd have to invite a lot of people. And that's fine. I can do that, and I will do that, but I don't have to. And then likewise, they're going to refer, you know, their first level, which is my second level. A lot of referring involved. It works, but if that's all it was, it would be a little bit, I've got to invite a lot of people. So it gets better. They warn you, it gets better. So can I earn more than the 7 and 3%, 10%? You certainly can. All you need to do is go out and refer 3 people, 3 directs, 3 people that you care about, and say you need these packages. So don't forget the 3 packages. You've got the beginner, so refer 3 to the beginner, refer 3 to the intermediate, refer 3 to the advanced, and you open up or unlock the matrix, and it's known as the student referral payments or student referral program. And I have this down as the second way of earning. Okay, so it's a simple, doesn't make it necessarily easy, but having said that, it actually is when I explain to you in a minute, because like I said, it does get better each slide that I go through. But it's simple, but doesn't necessarily make it easy. Because you've all heard of it, just teach the duplication, refer 3, and just get them to do the same. We all know 3 people. We all know 3 people that want this education. I would have said so. We all know 3 people that can afford this education. I would have said so. But even then, it's not necessarily easy, because you'll always get that third person. So I've invited 1, 2, and 3. But that third person I invited, just doesn't go out and get their 3, only gets his 1 or his 2. My other 2 have done theirs, 3 and 3, but that third person has only done their 1 or 2. But don't forget, and I'll get to this in a minute. So 10 levels deep, okay, that's how far you can go down once you've invited your 3. The matrix is opened up, 10 levels deep, and it's 3 by 3. So it's 3 by 3 by the power of 10, 10 levels deep. But getting back to the, referring 3. So now, as it says on the slide, you can refer 10 levels, not just 2. But that's on 3 matrices, the beginner, intermediate, and advanced. But don't forget, so going back to the duplicate, duplication, just refer 3, just refer 3. And it never seems to work out. But what if I said to you that you have to refer 3 to open up the matrix? And what if I said to you that, let's just say you just referred 2 and went away on a holiday or whatever you did, you just decided not to do this anymore. You came back 6 months and you saw your friends that you invited in, maybe the 2 that you invited in, saying, oh my God, I've earned this, that, and the other, and I'm earning so much money weekly, monthly. So you go and have a look at your back office and you see that you've gone down 6 levels deep, filled up, and you've got 2.5 grand sat there, let's just say. You can't claim that unless you get your 3. So isn't that going to incentivize you to get your 3rd one or your next 2? So the duplication of getting 3 will really, really work, and it will work quickly. So this is the 10 levels in a numbered format, what we can earn. So this is the $50 level, okay? So don't forget, it's the $55 level, but the $5 is being taken away by the direct commission, 7 and 3. Okay, so now 50's left over to then open up the matrix, okay, and earn these amounts. So on the first level, you refer 3 at 20%, you get $19.20. And likewise, if they refer 3, it's 9, you get 10%, you get $28.80. Totaling 48 total, and it goes up, 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 up. And as you can see, you can earn over $500,000. Okay, I can see you thinking, okay, look at these figures up here. These are the amount of people, 3, 9, 27. That's a lot of people. 59,049. I get you, I hear you, I understand you. But what if I said you don't have to go out and refer 59,000 yourself? Definitely not. There's a thing called forced matrix, or otherwise known as spillover. What does that mean? So I do my 3. I'm going to go get my direct 3 because I want to open the matrix. I don't want to see 6 months down the line that I've sat on 5 grand or whatever it may be. I want to be able to claim that. So for me to be able to claim that, I've got to introduce my 3. So I do my 3, and then Tommy does his 3 because he knows how it works. Jane does her 3, and Tim does his 3. I'm still going to be referring because I know more than 3 people that I really want to help. So my 4th person can't go on my first level because there's only 3. And these have done their 3. So it's got to go to the next available spot, which is Anne goes into Tommy's team here. And then my 5th person would go to the next available spot from left to right. So now can you see how powerful this is? When you look at that 59,049 people, it's not just you referring them. There's people above you and people helping people help people within your matrix. Just let that digest. And again, like I said earlier, I go away and I've only introduced 2 people. I go on holiday, I go traveling the world, and I go, do you know what? I just don't want to do this anymore. And I come back after 6 months and I see Tommy and I see Tim and I see Anne, and they're like, oh my God, we're earning this, that, and the other. You get these figures here, these are just default figures. This is the back office and it's just still in launch mode, so it's still getting developed. But I've looked up the 6th level on the advanced package for $50. So level 1, remember, it was like $19 something. Level 2, I think, was $20, I can't remember, but level 6 comes to 1,931. So I see that in my back office. Oh my God, I've got 1,931, but I can't claim it because I've only introduced 2 people. Am I going to get my 3rd person? That's all I'm going to ask you. Am I going to get my 3rd person? If I can't even find my 3rd person, I'm going to buy a package for $50 and earn 1,931. Hope this is sinking in, folks. I hope light bulbs are binging and bonging because it just gets better and better the more I go through the slides. I know I keep saying that, but it really does. And if you're not getting excited by now, you're in the wrong place. Every respect, you really are in the wrong place. Okay, so we can look at the 10 levels from right to left, from bottom to top, like we did on the numbered format chart, or left to right. It really doesn't matter. But if we look at it this way, I can explain it a little bit more how it works. It's a big matrix. So this is me, number 1, and I invite number 2, number 3, number 4. That's my matrix opened up because I've invited my direct 3. This matrix could be anything. It could be the $1, it could be the $10, or it could be the $50. Okay? But once I've done my 3, this opens up, and number 2 that I invited has their own matrix here. Number 3 has their own matrix here. Can't see me. Number 2 can't see number 3. But when I introduce someone else, let's say number 5, it's going to help out number 2. And likewise, further down and further down and further down. And people are going to help me from coming above me. Does that make sense? So the spillover really works. Having to refer 3 to unlock your matrix really works. Seeing how much you're able to claim, not that you can, unless you've unlocked your matrix and referred your direct 3. Don't forget, this happens on the $1 matrix. That's one product, beginner. This happens on the intermediates, the $10. And this also happens on the advanced, the $50. 3 links, 3 different products. You can obviously refer the 3 levels all to one person. They might want to go, do you know what? I want the whole lot. I want the beginner, I want the intermediate, I want the advanced, because I'm gonna go through it very quickly. And that's only going to cost them $67 for life, not per month, for life, not annually, for life. Right, okay. So how do we get paid and when? I've mentioned one already. The 7 and 3%, the 10% direct commissions get paid instantly straight into your Web3 non-custodial wallet. Don't forget, this is all decentralized. No emails, no KYC. So they have to be Web3 wallets, something like Internet Money Wallets, MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Exodus, okay? But we get paid directly off the direct commissions, 73% directly, instantaneously, okay? But the rest, which I'll explain to you in a minute, is paid out every week on Thursday at 23:59 UTC. And all you need to do is just press the claim. You go to your back office every Thursday at 23:59 or, 12 o'clock, and you just go press and you claim the money, and it goes straight into your Web3 wallet. Okay? Right. So this is just the smallest. There's a lot more that I could have put on this list, but for the sake of the size of the slides, I've just put on what I kind of thought was most important. But this is what we've got with this platform. This is how exciting this platform is, that I've never seen in any other platform. Okay, I've seen the so-called smart contract, but it wasn't audited. It was verified, but it wasn't audited. So it wasn't a proper smart contract. I've seen multi-level marketing before, but I've only seen Force Matrix once, but not with a smart contract, not on a blockchain. So basically, let's go from the top and go down. Crypto education, we know. We've looked at the different levels. and it's very good education. I don't think I mentioned it, and I don't think I did, no. Because I've had a few people say to me, well, okay, but I can get that education on YouTube. I can get that at the library. Well, one, you have to get it from a source that you can absolutely trust, and it's you know, good information, it's true information. Two, you've got to go out and find it. Three, with our crypto education, it's all online underneath one umbrella. It's all bookmarked, so you can watch a video, go away for a couple of days, come back, and the percentage and bookmark will be right there. It's all PDFs as well as videos. It's bite-sized chunks, so you don't get bored of it. It's updated, which is very important. As you know, the crypto space, the technology is just getting more updated and more updated more frequently. It's from beginner to advanced, and for whoever, you know, I hear say, oh God, you know, I know all about crypto. It's just wrong. It's not true. I should say it's not true, because it's getting updated and we're always learning. We're always learning. Not unless you are like a developer, crypto is, you know, there's so much to the crypto education. I don't believe anybody knows it all. MLM force metrics we mentioned, and again, don't look at multi-level marketing and go, oh my God, it's the people behind it, not the model itself. The model is fantastic. Fantastic. Smart contract, there's 7 of them. I believe there's 7 different ways of getting paid in this platform. Smart contracts, immutable. You start it, you can't stop it. Nobody controls it. It's audited by 3 different companies. It's verified. This meets certain criteria and it just pays out. You get your 3, bing, the matrix is open. Your matrix gets filled by your upline, and people within your matrix, you get paid. No one is going to take the money away from you, because no one has control. No one has the keys. Okay? It's DeFi, decentralized. It's not centralized. It's not some bank manager or some government making up a law or rule and saying, no, you're not having your 10,000 out of Barclays, out of HSBC. This makes it very transparent. Longevity I'll come to, which is more about the staking. DeFi, we've mentioned that a lot now. Decentralized finance, immutable. The smart contract is immutable. You can't stop it. It's that once it's created, hence why the developers have given us, there's the time of this presentation, I believe is the 13th of May, and we should launch at the end of May, but the developers have said you have to give us a 4 weeks buffer zone, because if there's any problems with the audits, obviously we need time to sort that out, because once we press the start on the smart contract, that's it. There's no going back. So very, very important. All on the blockchain. Blockchain is just super, super technology. When you mentioned BTC and kind of, you know, and I said about the BTC that was created because of the crash in 2008, people just think of the tokens, the coins, BTC, Ethereum, and, you know, blockchain is the technology. And blockchain, as we know, is like a ledger. It's like a filing system which goes across the whole globe. Thousands, millions and millions of people can have those ledgers, those files stored at the database. Very, very efficient. Automatic withdrawals, we've mentioned. Sustainability is because of really, of all the above. Now, what did I say to you? I know I'm going to get become very annoying saying all the time, but I'm only being honest. I said it's going to get more exciting as I went through the slides, and it still gets more exciting. Is that possible? Well, it is, because we have a thing called staking. So let's look at what staking is, because this makes the longevity very, very strong. Okay, so, you know, these education packages, they're going to be sold to everybody on this planet, because everybody can afford it, everybody needs it. You know, it's online, you can get it on your mobile phone. But let's just say the education runs out and people stop buying the product, which won't happen. But let's just say it does. We'll have a staking protocol that will still bring in money. What is staking? Okay, what are staking rewards? Users get staking rewards for depositing, staking their assets and putting them to work in the blockchain consensus or liquidity pools to provide capital to the network. Staking rewards are similar to interest payments you can receive from traditional banks. Get my words out. Now, obviously, a lot better than traditional banks, but it's the similar process, but much, much faster. There's no third party. I mentioned all the list earlier, didn't I? How does the staking work? Basically, the student's money, the 100%, once the 10% has been taken off, comes into Hexucation. It doesn't sit there. Obviously, we know the 10% gets paid directly into your wallet straight away, instantaneously. But the rest of it doesn't just sit in the vault all week until the Thursday. 100% of it goes into a compound staking pool. Look up hex.com and look up the Hex staking protocol. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty impressive. Richard Hart, the founder, the creator, if you like, of the Hex token, he's done an amazing job. Okay, so this money goes into 100% of it goes into a compound staking pool. It makes, we'll stick at the lower part, the 2%, until it gets more money gets put in there. It won't come to 10%, but around the 2%, 80% gets put back into Hexucation to be paid out. 20% remains, and it just becomes a lovely compounding interest cycle, if that makes sense. A very nice compounding interest. Get my English right. Okay, so this basically means that we're not just relying on the early funders and the existing students to attract new students. Forget the early funders, there's no more spaces left for the early funders. They were just helping donate like crowdfunding towards getting this platform up, because it cost a lot of money for the developer and for the website, etc. So this means that we are not just relying on the students to attract new students and sell the courses. After 10% instant commission deductions, Hexucation stakes 100% of its weekly revenue to the USD stablecoin, or in this case now the Hex token. They aren't just sitting there all week doing nothing and waiting to be paid out. To achieve this, we've decided to use a staking model which looks for the best staking opportunities. Again, this has changed. We're staking Hex now, okay? Staking Hex. Each week, only 80% of the stake is then unstaked and returned to the students. The remaining 20% goes into a long-term vault and is staked until this yield reaches 1 million. This great idea, which was designed by Miles A. Thomas, means that the USD stable coins, it's not the Hex, are not just getting paid out each week, they are actually growing the value of the Hexucation platform. When the 20% has matured, 50% of it's returned to the early funders and students. Okay, the other 50% is left to mature on the staking in the staking protocol until it has also given a yield of, I believe, 1 million, at which point the yield is paid out again. And the cycle goes on and on and on. This is why you've got this lovely compounding interest cycle. So the aim is that the vault ideally continues to grow and will continue to pay out on a regular basis. You know, just super excited about that. So like I said, the sustainability, longevity is there. So we're going to open up the Q&A in a minute, but I've just got this picture that I just mistakenly went to and had to go back. This picture that I'm going to leave you with, because this really, for me, my opinion, we're all different, illustrates kind of what Hexucation is going to do for me. Okay, you know, so like I say, this for me is what Hexucation is about. You know, I'm going to share this basically with as many people as possible, so we can all stand. What happens when we all stand and change the game for a more fair system? Educate people with our crypto knowledge, but with our crypto online packages, to allow us to all stand and break what's broken already, the CFI, the centralized finance system. It just doesn't work. It's not fair, and it needs changing. So we're going to open up to a Q&A. I really appreciate your patience and time. I hope I've not been too long. I think I've been about 30 minutes. So thanks for your time. Please get back to the person who invited you to the Zoom. Very important. to get their link. At the current time of this presentation, 13th of May 2024, we haven't launched yet. We're going to be launching, I believe, in about 2 weeks' time. Don't forget as well to attend the Zoom calls, which are on Thursdays at 7 p.m. UTC and Sundays at 4 p.m. UTC. I'm really looking forward, guys and girls, to taking you on this crypto journey and changing the economic system for the better. Thanks for that. Thanks ever so much for your time. God bless. Right. Let's just get this chat open up. I can see lots of questions.